Hi, it is DB Frick. Welcome back to America. We got a little experiment today. We're going to do 30 interviews in 30 minutes, and we got to get right to it right now. So my first interview is someone out of Park City, Utah. They are the godfather of comedy out there. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Bador. Come on down, Bob. It's really good to have you. Really good to see you. Hey, how are you? How is everything?
Doing well.
What's that?
Doing well. Good luck with this experiment. Let's go.
Yes. Yeah. You have started a new career. You had in the last year, which I think gives a lot of people a lot of hope everywhere right now. So I wanted to hear about how this new career as a weatherman came about.
Well, it all came about because someone quit and someone said, hey, we need someone immediately. Bob, do you think you can do it? And I just said yes. So I used the improv yes and pretty soon I'm now an over 50 guy who is starting a new career as a weatherman.
What's the station that you do it at over there in Park City?
It's ABC4 in Salt Lake City, Utah, actually. ABC4, so we're an ABC affiliate.
So ABC4. And you also have a couple of books. I have two of your books right here. These are
wow.
Yeah, I know. I read them both. They're great books. 101 and more improv games for children and adults. You should check that out on Amazon if you want to. Bob, thanks for coming down for a minute. I appreciate talking to you. It was awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Have fun.
Yeah, we are. We are having fun. The next guest I have coming on, ladies and gentlemen, you all know him. Everybody on this show knows him. Rob Kirby, come on down. Improviser extraordinaire. He's been out there as an actor. He's a writer. Rob Kirby, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you, DB. I am well. How are you?
I wanted to ask you, you're a fan of poker, right? You're a fan of poker.
I do love myself some poker, yes.
Have you been playing any games recently? Do you play
I haven't been going to the casinos yet since the pandemic stuff, but I've still been doing some house games with friends and been cleaning up nicely.
Nice. What's the most you've ever seen someone win?
Like in person or on TV?
In a live game. What's the most you've ever seen someone win?
The game I played and I saw someone win $17,000 on a hand.
$17,000. Do you know what they spent that money on?
Cocaine and hookers was my best
Probably.
guess.
I've always wanted to see like a reality show that would follow people after they win a lottery and what they spend their money on.
That's a good idea. You mind if I steal that and take it to my agent?
You can steal that, of course. It wouldn't be the first time someone's stolen something. Thank you for coming down, Rob. You rock. I appreciate you. Rob and I also do Wham Bam Improv Jam every Wednesday. You can check that out. Go register on Wham Bam on Facebook. Down, Rob.
Take it easy, DB.
Awesome. My next guest, I hope he's here, because we're going to talk about the same thing right now. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ Hazan, come on down. Come on in.
Hey, how you doing, DB?
Awesome to see you. It's really nice. You were just on the previous show with Extreme.
Yes.
Always very funny over there. You're also a poker player, much like Rob. Have you been getting out to any live games?
Yeah, I've been travelling a lot. Bratislava, Tallinn, quite a lot in London. And I've got 2 full weeks coming up at the end of August.
You're going to a tourney? You're going to a tournament?
Yeah, there's a very large one called the Goliath in Coventry, in the middle of England. The main event will be about $1 million. Prize pool for £100 buy-in. Sorry, 150.
That's
awesome.
That's
pretty good.
The first time that I ever heard JJ's name was when I used to watch the World Series of Poker back in like 2009, I think, probably.
Well before then.
Well before then. I'm bad with time. Really bad with time. Time doesn't even exist in my mind.
I'm old.
Thank you so much for coming down and doing this little experiment with me. Have a great night. I look forward to doing some improv with you again soon.
That's a quick minute, man. Bye.
Peace out. I didn't turn the timer on, so I'm getting nervous.
Okay.
My next guest is the writer of this book right here. He's been a friend of mine for over 20 years. Elliot James, good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello,
this book is awesome. It's about Noel Coward and an orphanage that he ran many years ago. And I was wondering if you had any anecdotes about the book or anything you might want to say about the book.
Oh, God, no, I wrote it and I forgot about it. Basically, Noel Coward achieved everything we strive for in life, money, fame, fortune, and it wasn't enough. He had to do something else, so he worked with these orphans to give him what he was missing. So that was That was kind of why I wrote it, because we're always, as actors and writers, we're striving for success, but it's not just about that.
No, it's not. You're right. Are you writing anything else right now? Are you working on any of the books?
Tomorrow, I've got a deadline tomorrow. I've got to write an article in the next 24 hours on Jesus Christ Superstar, a musical I've never seen, don't know any of the songs. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do.
It's one of my favorites. I could literally sing the entire musical right now. It's not enough time. I could do a 1-minute version of it. That might be fun. That would be a lot of fun. Where can people go get your book or check you out online?
It's on Amazon, ElliotJames.net, as well as my website. If you Google Elliot James actor, it all comes up.
And you're still out there in London, right? You were just doing a play.
I was just doing a play in England, and I've just finished, and now I've left London. I'm in the English countryside with lots of trees.
Thank you, Elliot. I appreciate you being part of this and coming down to the show. You're one of my favorite people. Have a good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Lovely to see you.
Next is a friend of mine out from the National Lampoon. I met him back in 2016. We just got to hang out back in LA. Andy Danish, come on down. Andy, how you doing? Good to see you. Andy is a voiceover guy. Andy is a voiceover guy. He used to live in New York. He's out in LA now, and he's always tearing it up. He does a lot of work. I wanted to ask you about your favorite voiceover project that you've been able to be part of.
Oh, that's a fun one. I guess I got to be the voice of Slinky from Toy Story for Little Big Planet 2, and so I had to voice match Blake Clark. So, let's see, I had to be like, "Hey, Woody, get over here. We're gonna catch that train sooner or later." So I had to kind of affect Blake Clark, or it was Jim Varney until Jim Varney passed away, but then Blake Clark took over the role. But they're like, use Blake Clark's voice as an example, though.
Okay, and you're an impressionist too. That's actually how I got to know you, was you were doing Donald Trump for sketches that I was writing way back. Like, I remember a sketch where Donald Trump and Steve Bannon were dressing like women at the Million Women March, and they just to meet women. They were just trying to meet women. That was one of my favorites. Always a lot of fun to see you. I'm so glad we got to hang out last week a couple of times. You're one of my favorite people. So thanks for coming down, Andy. And my next guest is a man of many names. He goes by Stephen Ray online. I believe it's another name. He's going to talk about that. He's actually stuck in his car. He's drowning in a lake. So we've got to get this done really quick. How you doing, Stephen? It's good to see you.
Very good. How are you, DB?
You've written a book, right? You have a book that you've written.
I'm in a book. I'm writing a movie script that's also a book called The History According to Steve.
The History According to Steve. Now, are you referring to you when you talk about Steve?
Well, everyone knows a Steve, so it's not just me. Steve becomes the devil in the book. It's based on the Bible.
It's based on the Bible? Okay. Like, in what way?
It starts out in a dark room. All you see is a spark. You hear someone go, "Cool, man, what'd you do?" He goes, "I don't know, man." But it's not Cheech and Chong, it's Che and Cho. So it's based on Cheech and Chong being God.
Oh, I like that a lot. That's really cool. Are you doing any shows? We're supposed to hang out at Jones Beach soon. We're supposed to meet over there, I believe, in a revision session.
We don't have to divulge the location.
No, we shouldn't have. I shouldn't have said anything. No. That actually, when I tell people where I'm going to be, that's where they don't go. So that's why I tell people online where I'm going to be. Stephen, thank you so much for coming down. You're a funny guy. Check Stephen out. He does stand up on Long Island. You can see him at various different mics and such. Thank you very much.
Lately, I've been posting Instagram videos.
Yeah, so go to his Instagram. Where's your Instagram?
Stephen Ray, Instagram.
Oh, okay. That was really clever. That's a very clever Instagram name. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Ray. Thank you for coming down.
In South America, I'm Stephen King. So.
Does Ray mean king? Oh, wow. I learned something new. Thanks for coming down, man. I'll see you again soon. We'll hang out. I'm looking forward to it. Next is a singing sensation and a Long Island icon. Ladies and gentlemen, Les Deegan.
Wait, I thought I was going next.
You are next. You are next.
I'm kidding. D. Beela, how are you?
How are you? I haven't seen you live in a very long time. I know you retired recently. How is retired life?
Retired life is. I'm very busy. Retired from corporate sales for 41 years to be a full-time singer, entertainer, comedian. So I'm having a blast.
Yeah, you're one of the. You write a lot of great songs, very funny parodyist.
Thank you. Yes.
Do you have a favorite joke?
Do I have a favorite joke? That's not something we talked about to fill
Okay,
up
let's
a
go
minute.
back to Sylvia. Let's go back to Sylvia. We did a
Sylvia,
movie
yes,
together.
we did. You first movie I ever did. I co-starred with you.
Yeah, we. It was a movie about a woman who wakes up in another man's body, and then like to get away from her life. It's sort of a little magical.
Right, and in real life she had died, and I was her widower, and then all of a sudden she shows up at my doorstep with you, and it was very funny.
And you're like, Sylvia? It was
Sylvia, is that you? And in the meantime, it's like a tall, geeky-looking guy named Brian.
Right.
I can say that because he's not on the dais today.
He probably will see this. This is going to be on the internet forever. Everything is
Oh,
forever.
okay. Brian, you're not that geeky. Okay.
Do you have a favorite song line from a song? Do you have a favorite line like that really means something to you, like
a favorite line? Yes, I do. It's a Steely Dan from Katie Lied. You walked in, and my life began again.
Nice. I like that, ladies and gentlemen. Les Deegan.
Thank you. Love you, DB.
Love you too. My next friend coming down. I don't even see him. I don't see him here. John LaRocchia is not on the dais, and we will go to my best friend, one of my best friends, my brothers in arms. I got to his wedding last week. Chris Vanderhorst, come down here. Really good to see you. There you are on the right side. I wanted to ask you, you've actually gotten to work with someone in the industry that we all want to be a part of, one of the most important people in Jordan Peele. You got to do some work with him not too long ago. What was that like?
It was crazy because it was before Get Out, and I know him from comedy. So I'm sitting here, I'm talking to him, and he says, I just shot a horror movie. It's going to change the game. And I'm thinking, well, you're very talented, but I don't see you doing horror. And now I look back at that time I spent with him talking to him, and just everything he said, he did. And he has changed horror. It's nuts.
It is. Have you seen Nope?
I have. It's fantastic.
I thought it was very interesting. I got to see it actually at the Fox, of all places, or the one across the street. I never really know which one is which.
Right.
But it was interesting, and it was very funny. The way that these serious moments of horror are blended with comedy is something I love to see.
And now, that movie. Oh, go ahead.
No, go. You go, please.
Well, that movie, it pays tribute to film crew. If you really pay attention, it's like a thank you to all the film crews. If you really look at the characters, look at the props, look at the wardrobe, you'll see little clues that will drive you to his message.
Awesome. Is anybody who isn't talking now, if you could turn off your camera for now, that would be great. I'll end up calling your name in a minute if you don't mind. And Chris, Chris, what is your favorite horror movie again?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay, I love a good. I haven't watched a lot of horror recently, other than Nope, but Nope's very different, and there's not a lot of blood and gore and real violence in it.
Right?
Really
not at all.
Not at all. Chris, thank you for coming down.
Of course.
Appreciate you being part of this experiment. Ladies and gentlemen, next coming to the stage is Ty Higgins, who was also at Chris's wedding recently. Good to see you, Ty. Ty, you're out in LA right now, right? You live in LA? Yep. I wanted to ask you about what was probably the most awkward living experience you had while living in LA. I had a couple at a few, I think. Yeah, at some point, every living experience can be awkward. But what was yours?
And this is when I start this off. Also, good to see you, brother. When I start this off, it doesn't sound horrible, and it's just because I'm a very nice person, like a mama's boy. This became awkward. Had this really great living situation in a house, friend-owned, lovely home. Young French girl, 18 years old, moves in with me. So good. Doesn't speak English at all, and she doesn't know how to do anything or go anywhere, so I kind of feel like I'm abandoning her if I don't take her to the grocery store. So I take her to the grocery store. Then there's like nothing happening on the weekend. So then I just almost become her assistant because I can't bear to just leave her there kind of unattended.
Okay. I can see that.
You know, just being helpful. And then she had like I think her parent, somebody died in her family, and so trying to console her, but we don't speak the same language, and it was just like awkward.com at my house. It was a lot.
So when did this happen?
This was maybe 5 years ago.
Okay, where you lived, and this was, when did you move to LA?
Oh man, 2005.
Okay, so you've been out there 16 years now.
Yeah.
Okay. And where'd you come from?
North Carolina. I was hanging out with Chris in North Carolina. He got me into filmmaking.
Okay, so you're also part of the next person I have coming up. Where can people go check you out, Ty?
If you go to tyhigginscreative.com, you can see all my films there and some music that I'm putting out. And my new music name is Caprica. So just kind of putting out a bunch of new music of all different genres under that moniker, Caprica.
Awesome, Ty. Thanks for coming down, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Very fun.
Yeah, thank you. The next person coming on from Ward's Bridge Productions. We work together at UCLA. We live together in Burbank. Brian Matthew Ward, who doesn't want us to know that he's doing this from his car, but it's pretty obvious that the background is his car. You have a movie podcast that you're doing. Talk a little bit about the fucking moving podcast that you're doing.
Well, we actually changed the name to Cinema Meltdown just because we thought the fucking movie podcast was a terrible name.
Yeah, no, it's hard. It was like shit my dad says William Shatner did a few years ago. It's hard to advertise for it, so I get that.
But yeah, I mean, basically we just get different guests on and we talk about various different movies, from horror to comedy to whatever we want to talk about, pretty much.
Awesome. What are your recent movies that you've talked about? What are some movies maybe you want to talk about that you haven't?
I think that the last one we did, if I'm not too badly mistaken, was Blue Velvet, and I think that we're going to do one when we come back that's going to be a general, like, gateway horror, like movies like Gremlins.
Okay, I like that. I'd love to talk about Gremlins. We talked about, what was it we talked about? We talked about Woody Allen? Did we talk about a Woody Allen movie?
We talked about Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks, that's kind of like, that's why I thought of it. Mel Brooks, sort of the same genre of comedy. Brian, I'm kind of behind, so I'm going to move it along, and I appreciate you coming down, and I look forward to us getting together soon and working on one of your movies out in North Carolina.
Definitely, thank you.
Awesome, man. Thanks, Brian. Next, I got Andrew Abramson. Come on down. Andrew, hey.
What's
Andrew,
up,
good to see you, man. Thanks for being here.
Great
Andrew runs
seeing
an
you.
extravaganza online. He runs a few improv programs out in the city and the 5 boroughs. Talk a little bit about the programs that you run.
I do run a monthly show over at Central Park. It's a warm-up where people get to warm up, do improv that they've never done before. People that have done it, they love it, which is great. Do a lot of stuff online, Facebook Improv at its best improv shows and classes around the world, the monthly show. But I know we got a minute. Go for it, DD.
I know that I like the idea of doing improv outside. I feel like if I did improv outside right now, it would be like the equivalent of doing hot yoga. It would be like hot improv. So we're just there to really sweat.
But again, that could be fun. You know, that could be in the scene. That works.
It can be fun. When is the next extravaganza coming up?
It is Friday, August 26th, which will be our 2-year anniversary, and we're thrilled to have you back performing with a few teams and yourself solo. But August 26th, which is a Friday, our 2-year anniversary.
Yeah, I'm going to be performing with Wham Bam, with Rob Kirby and Tim David. I'm looking forward to that and doing some stand-up. Andy, thank you so much for coming down. Where can people go see you?
Facebook, go to Improv at its best improv shows, classes around the world. Andrew Abramson, I go under Andy, but yes, everyone, thank you so much, DB. You're awesome.
Awesome, Andy. Thank you so much for coming down. Next, I have an old friend from UCLA. Is he even here? Did he make it? Did Gordon Lake McGregor make it? It doesn't look like he did, so that's too bad. So we're going to go right into a friend that I've met out in LA recently. I did a show at the Glendale Room out in Glendale, LA, an improv show with Michael Seeloff, played some improv games with him, and a few other teams. Fernando Funes. Am I pronouncing that right, or is it just Funes? Tell me how to pronounce it.
It's Funes, but don't worry, my name's been botched my whole life, so you're
Me
good.
too. Me too. We both start with F, so we got that in common. That's nice.
Yeah. It was great meeting you, though. It was so much fun out there.
It was great meeting you. That was a lot of fun. That's a beautiful room. I really like that room. I like the idea of books everywhere when I'm doing a show. It's just comforting to me. I even went to a bookstore yesterday and went to the library today. I love books. But here I'm going to talk to you about what is you've been doing improv a long time. I think you said about 5-6 years now. And
I've been doing it, I think 14 years now.
14 years. Okay. What's your favorite improv game?
My favorite improv game? You know, I just like doing like an Armando, my old team Big Selfie. But we did it our own way. We would tell stories and share our own pain and history and all that stuff. I love doing that. That's what they really do. Just storytelling and playing people you love.
You're also a poet. You put some really good poems on. You put something out every day. You've written a couple of hundred of them, I'm guessing, it seems. What are your favorite themes?
My favorite themes, growing up, heartache, pain, loss, positivity, being a man who's going to do something with his life, stuff like that.
Awesome. I also saw a picture of you recently from 2 years ago, and you lost a lot of weight. So congratulations on that, too. You look really good.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thanks for coming down, Fernando. Where can people check you out?
Fernando A. Funes on Instagram. Check it out. All right. See you guys.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. My next guest is one of the few people that I actually haven't met, and I'm looking forward to talking to him for a minute. Stephen Calba, come on down. How are you doing?
What's going on, DB? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for. How fast are you driving right now, Stephen?
Right now I'm going about 30 miles an hour, but which is a good sign, at this hour, because typically on the LIE, right, you don't really go past like 5 miles an hour at this hour, so it's nice to go 30.
I like the idea of. I wanted you to tell me you were like on the run from the law or something. It looks like you're going much faster than you are.
Not today. We're in the clear today, but in past years I can't say the same. But today, no law is not looking for me today.
Stephen, if you could change one thing about the world, what would you change?
Honesty, like the news, the media. I just think it's full of lies. People are programmed. People watch this stuff, believe everything, and it's just people are brainwashed with no sense of values or morals or any type of spiritual connection. They just watch television, believe everything. I just think it's just a big propaganda. I just think that I wish there was something done about that. That's all. I just think there was the spread of information and encouragement of critical thinking. I think we've lost that in over a long time now.
Well, I appreciate that, and I agree. And I'm sorry to make this go so fast. It is only a minute, and I'm about 8 minutes behind, so I'm going to try to catch up. So, Stephen, thank you for coming down. I really appreciate it being part of this experiment of mine.
Thank you for having me, GB. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My next guest it's a little strange. My next guest is actually Satan. Hey, Satan. Thanks. He's in the middle of the show here. Since you're here, Satan, I'm going to ask you for maybe a favor. Of course. I was wondering, since I have 30 interviews with me right now, what maybe we could do about selling the souls of these 30 guests.
When you signed them up for this, they're already up for grabs. I've taken all their souls right now. They all belong to me now.
Okay, so I would settle for a decent cup of coffee then.
I will make you last the show around 10 minutes.
Yes, that's amazing. You just made the cup. Oh, that's worth it. That is worth selling one's soul for, that coffee. That is delicious.
And by that, you have given most people some diarrhea at this point.
Oh, so they're also eating through me. That's great. No. It's Lucifer. Sorry to make it quick. I really appreciate you coming down. I hate pushing Satan off. I understand you have my soul, but while I'm alive, it's still mine. So get off my show, Satan. You get out of here.
The power of Christ compels me.
It did. My next guest is a comedian that I've met during the pandemic. Very funny guy who likes to pick his nose. He's a teacher and comedian. Chris de Blasio. It says there, but Chris Williams, however you'd like to go by. Chris, what is it that got you into comedy?
A breakup with a girlfriend, and a friend was encouraging me to do stand-up. My girlfriend broke up with me. That night, I watched the movie Shawshank Redemption, and Tim Robbins' character says, "Get busy living or get busy dying." 3 nights later, I was at an open mic.
Wow. Okay. Do you remember how you did that night?
I did terrible, but I got like one sort of laugh. And from comedy, you get like one sort of laugh, and you're like, "I'm coming back."
Do you remember what that laugh was for? The joke?
It was sort of a joke about my friend who was there watching me. There was a drunk guy there, and my friend is a DUI lawyer. And I said, if you need a DUI lawyer, my friend is the Jew over there.
Okay, I hope no one's recording this. Oh, wait, it is being recorded. It definitely is. Where can people go see you, Chris? Do you have any shows coming up?
Tomorrow night, I'm hosting a show at The Stand, 7 p.m. at the Stand Comedy Club. And Friday night, I'm hosting a show at the Dojo of Comedy East in Tiffs and Morris Plains, New Jersey.
Awesome. Anyone who's out in those areas, go check those shows out. Chris is a great guy, very funny, very personable. I look forward to seeing you in person again. Next up, who I actually met Chris through, ladies and gentlemen, a producer out in New York City, comedian, funny guy, ex-military, ex-cop, James Mack. Thanks for coming down. Good to see you.
Hey, how's it going, DB? Thanks for having me.
What do you think? You're a producer. You produce a lot of shows. You're looking at a lot of comics and a lot of videos all the time. What do you think makes a good comic?
I think the biggest thing is just being yourself and not trying to be someone else. The thing I try and explain to newer comics is that if I can remove you, keep your jokes, and put somebody else in it, then you're not being yourself.
Okay. That is a great piece of advice. Are you? What shows do you have coming up that you're producing right now?
For producing, every first and third Wednesday at Mulligan's in Hoboken, New Jersey, we have a show. September 9th, I have a new show at a place called Gone Fishing in Teaneck, and then of course in Absalom in Teaneck, and then September 15th, we have a veterans fundraiser to help get veterans off the street.
Awesome. James, thank you for coming down. I'm sorry to make the minutes so fast, but I like that you were part of this, and I look forward to seeing you in person very soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Next, we got Pete Blumenthal. Pete, hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Pete has one of my favorite characteristics right now. He lives in Amish country and works at a local wood maker. You make like tables and stuff like that. Furniture store. So you're talk about working there a little bit.
Well, it is interesting working in intercourse. I'm sure there's a lot you can pick from that. If I ever was to do a bringer show here, it would be very difficult bringing a bunch of Amish dudes who I can't curse in front of. I work for a Mennonite who actually I never cursed in front of. So I curse before work, I curse after work, and everybody knows I'm a New Yorker when they come in the store, and they're all my new audience.
Whoever has the sound on, if you could turn your sound off. So has he caught you cursing? Has there been a situation where you? No, he hasn't. Have you cursed at work? And have you cursed at work?
Never.
Are they doing that?
Not with the boss around.
Literally louder once I ask them not to. Sorry about that, Pete. I appreciate you coming down. Do you have any shows you're doing? Do you have any? Are you writing any comedy?
I have to. What works in New York does not work in Pennsylvania. So it's just not going to work. So I got to put some stuff together and talk about Amish horse poop and cow poop and working in intercourse and all that wonderful stuff, and put it all together and find a place in Harrisburg or in Lancaster or Philadelphia area.
Well, I appreciate you coming down here, Pete, and meeting you online. I like our interactions on Facebook and look forward to it more often. Pete Blumenthal, everybody, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Next, another very funny guy, Long Island comedian, Bobby Haha. Come on down. Good to see you. Bobby, actually just saw, we have something in common. Our favorite band is Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Bobby, you just saw Roger Waters last week at an arena nearby.
In Philadelphia. And I'm going again this Saturday.
You're going to the UBS arena.
Yeah.
I wanted to go, but I'm working the election, so it's going to be really hard to make it work. But I really would love to see that. What's your favorite Pink Floyd album?
Dark Side of the Moon.
Dark Side of the Moon. I'm partial to metal. Metal, I find, is the greatest because Echoes is like this amazing. It's almost like Mozart, and it's just Wales. It's really.
They're great. Even though Roger Waters is by himself, it's almost like going to a Floyd show. I went to Animals back in the 80s or early 80s.
Animals. That's my second favorite album. Animals. Where did you see Animals?
Back in years ago in the stadium.
Oh, okay.
Michigan.
Michigan. A big fan of them. I would love, one of my dreams, see David Gilmour and Roger Waters and Nick Mason get back together. And
that would be nice, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
No, it's not going to happen. Bobby, where can people go see? Do you have any shows coming up?
Oh, no, I retired from comedy a while back.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming down on my little experiment today.
Thank you. It was very fun. It's a nice day.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Let's see. I think my next interview is not here. That's fine. Jimmy Mack, one of my favorite people. Met him out in L.A. a few weeks ago. Come on down, Jimmy. Jimmy Mack.
Hey, what's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
Hey, we got to hang out and do a show live out in Santa Monica at Yale.
I have no memory.
You have no memory of that? There was a lot of drinking that day on both our parts. I want to know, you're a very smart person. I think you're highly intelligent. I think you're very well read. What is your favorite piece of trivia?
My favorite piece of trivia? Just ever?
Yes.
Oh my God, put me on the spot. Okay. Star Trek The Next Generation. Marina Sirtis was going to play the security officer, and Denise Crosby was going to play the counselor, but they flipped the two characters before starting production.
Oh, that's an interesting little piece. Have you ever brought that to Geek Battle, which we do sometimes together on Extreme, one of their shows?
I haven't done it in a while, but I feel like in the early days I might have brought that up.
Where can people go see you be funny?
Right now I think I'm just doing the Zoom shows. I'll be on tomorrow with the Extreme World Championship.
I look forward to seeing you in that, and I look forward to seeing Shut Up Wesley come back sometime.
I hope so, definitely.
I hope that comes back. Jimmy, sorry to make this so fast, but I've gone a few minutes over, and I'm trying to get through everybody. I've got like 6 more of these to do. And
no problem. Thank you.
4 minutes behind, which isn't too bad. So thank you for coming down, Jimmy. My next guest is a friend out in L.A. I think he's from Port Jefferson, Long Island. Matthew McManus, come on down, Matt. One of the funny guys out.
It's me.
He does so many different things. One of my favorite things that he does, he's not a prankster. You use a different word. You use a different word when you talk about what you do.
Human graffiti.
Human graffiti. You go out there and you sort of make a beautiful piece of art funny with people.
I don't know if everyone would say that it's beautiful, but it's definitely like a lot of pranking that you see on Instagram and on social media has some kind of mean connotation to it. What I'm doing is really just silly and annoying. I use like settings as canvases and people as paintbrushes. Like the thing where you go up an escalator and graze someone else's hand on the other side. I started that, and it became kind of like a thing over the last 7 years or so. But basically, just they're social experiments. But they're also kind of strange. Like I'll give compliments to people with a megaphone, or I'll just sit next to someone and open a can of tuna and eat it, or I will put a wig on and fall asleep in random places, or I'll walk around before pre-pandemic and make people put sanitizer in their hands before they eat their donut, etc.
You're an incredible talent. You're also a rapper. Where can people go see your work? Where would you like people to check you out?
It's mattmcmanus.com.
mattmcmanus.com. You can check out.
It's mattmcmanus.com.
It's Matt McManus. That whole thing.
Yeah.
Matt, he's one of the funniest guys I know, and of course, a Long Island favorite. He wouldn't like to admit that. He's an LA guy, but
I'm from East Islip. Yes.
From East Islip. Thanks for coming down, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Next person coming down, he goes by two names. Where is he? Is he here? Might be able to skip the next guy because he is not here. All right. That has made that. Rich Walker, Long Island icon. Come on down.
I'm here.
Matt, if you could turn your camera off, that'd be great.
Yep.
Good to see you, Rich. Rich is a Long Island icon. He was 2002 to 2021's funniest Long Island comedian.
Yeah, all 20 years in a row. It's amazing how I was able to achieve that. But you know what it was, DB? I spent many, many nights up voting for myself, going down to Best Buy, going from computer to computer.
You really did that. I know you really did that at some point.
No,
Something like that.
But it's funny. I was replaced by a guy that was actually dead, who actually won.
Oh, kind of like they did with Paul McCartney and the Beatles. Like they replaced Paul McCartney, and you're not actually the original Rich Walker.
Yes, that's it.
You run
so go ahead. You got a question for me? I'm ready. Go.
We're going to go into. You run a stand-up comedy school out on Long Island. Very famous.
People at home could go to www.standupuniversity.com, learn all about us. If you ever wanted to try stand-up comedy, do it, or perfect your act, we're the place to go.
You've met a lot of comedians. You've helped a lot of comedians along and get on stage and get stage time. Do you think that you can tell someone can be a comedian from meeting them?
Not from meeting them, but after the first time they're on stage.
Okay, so it takes
You know what it is? Like DB, Jerry Lewis said, it's got to be in your bones, right? You have to be funny. Yeah, you should be funny off stage, on stage. Some people do perfect the craft, though, where they're funny on stage and they figure out the design of a joke. That's it.
Rich, I appreciate your time coming down here. I know it's a fast minute. And I've already gone almost 10 minutes over. And I realized I just skipped one of my best friends ever. And he's been coming on trying to tell me that. And I was wondering why he was coming on. But Joe Dixon, come on now. Come on down. Thanks for coming down, Rich.
Hey, man.
Sorry about that. I'm looking at a list here and sort of just looked over it. You have a podcast that you're doing online.
Yes, it was me you saw Woody Allen with. It was not Take the Money Anywhere. It was Everything You Want to Know About Sex We're Afraid to Ask.
Right. It was a sketch movie. It was one of his sketch movies. I think he did one or two. Maybe that was the
one of his earlier films. Yeah.
Very early. What do you have coming up on that show? What movies are you going to be talking about?
We're going to talk about Cabaret. We're going to talk about Jaws. We're going to talk about What's Love Got to Do with It. I think that one's already out, actually. What's love got to do with it? Want to sing with me?
Yes,
we'll do it for a minute of singing. What's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion?
Okay, we got to do it at the same. We're going to have to work on this. Where can people You're hardly online at all. You don't like social media. You think the government's after you. Where can people go see you?
Again, Does It Still Work? The podcast. Does It Still Work? I do it with George Ramaka, Joe Dixon. Very fun podcast. Everybody check it out. That's it. Is that my time?
Yeah, I've known Joe for 25 years. I met Joe in like 2000, and he's like a brother to me. So I appreciate you coming down, Joe. Love you.
Oh, thank you, man. Very sweet.
For a minute of your time. Sorry I overlooked you. Let's see. My mom did not make it. That's terrible. I asked my mom to come down to do a minute. She did not come down. And that is too bad. But thanks for coming down, Joe.
All right, talk to you later, man.
I don't think Andrew made it either. So let's talk to Millie. Millie, come on down. Millie, we'll do a half a minute. How you doing?
Good. I was cooking. I was doing stuff.
What are you cooking?
Just chicken breast.
Okay.
That's it. Nothing exciting. I was enjoying listening to all the conversations, and I was timing them for you.
I know. I've gone over. I've gone 10 minutes over. Hope David's not mad. I was hoping to be able to do it, but I didn't turn my time.
You were doing pretty good. You were doing not too bad.
I'm giving like everyone like 20 more seconds than I should.
Yes.
And then some people too little. But you've done a lot of traveling this summer. Where are some of the places you've gone?
Yes, I have. I went to Barbados. That was canceled once in January. And then I went to Las Vegas to visit my family. I met my new niece and nephew.
Aww.
Yeah, they're 6 months old. They're very cute. And
any money?
No, yes, I went to Jackpot Joni's, and I won $50.
That doesn't sound like a real place.
You know what? It's great out in Vegas. You're sitting around watching TV, and like 8 o'clock, somebody's like, "Let's go to Jackpot Joni's." I'm like, "Okay, let's go." We go in pajamas. It's great. You have a drink for free, and they give you free fun.
Millie, you were my co-host for this show when we would do it. Live.
I had such a great time.
It was such a great time during the pandemic. It made the pandemic easier, and I appreciate those shows that we did together. It was
Me
great.
too. I appreciate them.
And I hope you throw a party again soon, so I can.
I am. I will tell you. I'm not going to say it right now because I don't.
All these people will show up.
I cannot serve everybody.
You can't let Rich Walker know about a party, and he'll just go there. He'll crash anything. He crashes funerals and then does comedy. It's weird.
Well, he's like one person I would invite. I'm going to say.
Thanks for coming down, Millie. Big fan.
Thanks for having me. Good luck.
And I think we have 2 people left. We have Mason. Mason, come on down. Mason is someone that I met like in 2001, doing comedy for John Femia, who's star of Square Pegs, with Sarah Jessica Parker in the early 80s. And Mason would do stand-up. We do it at 2 in the morning at Sheiky's on Bleecker in New York City. And do you have any music you'd like to play for us? Do you have a couple of bars? I'd love to hear from you.
You may call me crazy, you may call me sick, but Johnny be good and DB frick. Whoa, whoa. Go, DB, go, go, go. Go, DB, go, go, go. DB frick.
Wow. We could probably sell that. We put like a beat behind it, like maybe like all I gotta do is like kick something now. You just have to make noises and just like put them together, and then it's like some huge Kanye hit. Where are you living now, Mason?
In my apartment, but my apartment, if what you're asking is what town, is near Rochester, in Rochester, outside of Rochester.
Okay. Do you like it over there? Are you happy? You have a kid, right? You have a daughter?
I have a goat. No. I have a child. Yes, I have my wonderful daughter, Grace. Yes, she's off to the University of Vermont in a few weeks.
I believe I was around when you met your wife. I believe I was around when you did.
Yes.
Very long ago.
You did Sheiky's with me. I don't remember that. We did Sheiky's together, Dan?
Yeah, with Mark Sacripante and Tim and all of them. It was a great time.
Oh, my God. Yes, you remember all them. I'm sorry.
I do. I appreciate you coming down, and I have no idea how many people I interviewed, but I'm going to do my last interview now with David Riley Krasansky. And I hope I didn't ruin the next show by being 14 minutes late and selfishly taking all that time.
No, this has been awesome, DB. I've been sat here, I've been enthralled with the entire thing.
I don't know how I made it happen. I don't know how you made it happen. But David, I have your book here. I have your book right here. You have 2 books now.
I do. I'll hold up the other one just for the sake of completion.
Sure.
There you go.
I'll bring it, so you get extreme close-up of it. I like how it sort of see through it. That's really cool.
That was my forward thinking. I was like, I need this to not work around green screens.
And you have, you're doing this all week. You do this every 6 months. You have a championship.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. I've kind of mentioned it, but I'll give you the exclusive. We're going to do another festival in a couple of months' time, which is called the Virtually Unstoppable Festival. And it will be more than just improv. It will have all kinds of different virtual theatre on there.
Awesome. You could even maybe produce a play.
A play, a musical, stand-up, poetry, clowning, anything.
Cool. I look forward to being part of that. And thank you for always letting me do this with you. And you're one of the good guys. So
thank you, dude.
With Extreme Improv, and welcome back to America. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for coming down. And it went pretty well.
Awesome. So very quickly, I just want to say, round of applause, like DB putting all this together. So many guests there. You are absolutely. This is an incredible guest show to open the championship with. So thank you very, very much, DB. We're going to have loads more shows. Check the schedule on the Xstreamed.tv website. There's going to be loads more coming up. So check out tomorrow. There's be the second quarterfinal round. And with that, from me, from DB Freck. Until next time.